If your MRI says you have a slap tear, a labrum tear at the top of your shoulder, and you've been told to stop lifting, stop going overhead, or book surgery, hit pause. That MRI scan is a simple snapshot of your shoulder. It doesn't show you how you move, how strong you become, or how much stability you can build around that tear. In this video, I'll break down what a slap tear actually is, what your MRI does and doesn't tell you, when surgery truly makes sense, and the exact rehab approach we use to keep lifters and overhead athletes training safely, plus 4 exercises you can start today. I'm Dr. Seyforth, online shoulder rehab specialist with Comeback Performance. We help active adults and lifters who've been told they have slap tears, rotator cuff tears, arthritis, or bone on bone fix their shoulder pain when they get back to lifting, throwing, pickleball, volleyball, and daily life without endless PT, cortisone, or rushing into surgery. We've had plenty of clients with MRI-confirmed labrum tears cancel surgeries and return to pressing, paddling, and overhead sports pain-free by restoring stability and mechanics around the shoulder, not just fixing the picture on the scan. Let me give you a quick real-life example so you can hear it from someone who's been where you are.
And a slap tear for, I would guess, probably going on a year or so, and had some mobility limitations, things like that, and a little bit of pain. Then it froze up on me. With the program with you, I was just the 12 weeks went by pretty quick, and I was like, wow. But no, golf, no problem. I'm not really having any pain.
That's someone with a confirmed slap tear who rebuilds stability and mechanics instead of going straight to surgery, and now he's back to golf with zero pain. Let's break this down. A slap tear is a tear in the superior labrum, the cartilage rim at the top of the socket where the bicep tendon attaches. Common symptoms include a deep ache in the shoulder, pain or catching with overhead or crossbody positions, and clicking, popping, or feeling like the shoulder doesn't trust certain ranges. Here's what most people aren't told. Labrum tears are common, especially as you get older if you've been active for years. Many people with labrum tears on MRI have no shoulder pain at all. Your labrum is one piece of a larger stability system. If the muscles and mechanics around it are solid, your shoulder can often function really well even with a tear. So we need to stop treating slap tears as an automatic surgery sentence and start looking at the system the labrum lives in. Slap surgery typically uses anchors to reattach or tighten the labrum. That can help in certain areas, especially with big traumatic instability, but there are trade-offs most people aren't told. You often lose external rotation range, especially in the positions you need for throwing, overhead sports, or back rack lifting. Overhead motions like throwing, serving, or even certain presses can feel tighter and more stressful post-op after the surgery. Surgery changes the hardware, but it doesn't automatically fix how you move. For a lot of active adults and lifters, the bigger problem isn't a torn labrum, it's that the shoulder never had enough stability and control from the muscles and mechanics around it in the first place. That's what we target with our Big 5 system. Before we talk surgery versus rehab, you need to know the Big 5 that control your shoulder. First is the neck. If your neck is stiff or irritated, signals to the cuff and stabilizers can be off. You can feel referred pain into the shoulder and lose fine control. Second is the thoracic spine, aka your upper back. If you can't extend and rotate here, your shoulder has to steal the motion. That puts extra stress on the labrum every time you reach, throw, or press overhead. Third is the shoulder blade. Your labrum and cuff both depend on a stable but mobile shoulder blade. If the blade doesn't move up and around your rib cage, the ball rides poorly in the socket and the labrum gets loaded in bad positions over and over again. Fourth is the shoulder joint. It's a ball and socket. It needs to drop, roll, glide, and rotate smoothly. With labrum issues, the ball often rides forward or high and you get that deep, sketchy feeling at certain angles. And fifth is the nerves. Nerves from your neck and around your first rib feed the cuff and support muscles. If they're compressed, you can feel weak, clumsy, or unstable long before the structure is completely torn. Your MRI mostly talks about number 4, the joint and the labrum. It says almost nothing about 1, 2, 3, and 5, but these are exactly the levers we use to restore stability and keep people lifting and playing even with a slap tear. Here's a simple at-home test you can do. This is not a full diagnosis, but can give you clues. It's called an O'Brien's active compression test. Stand tall with your affected arm out in front. Turn your thumb down like you're pouring out a can. With your other hand, press down on your wrist as you resist. Notice where you feel pain. Then turn your thumb up and repeat the same pressure. See if there's a difference. If the pain is worse with the thumb down position and feels deep in the shoulder and better with thumbs up, that can be consistent with labrum involvement. Again, this is one piece of information, not the whole story. The real question is, how does your shoulder respond when we improve mechanics and stability? That's what these exercises are for. Now, these 4 exercises are not labrum healers. They're about building mobility and control where you need it and strength and stability where you load it, so your shoulder has more backup around the tear. With these exercises, use the pain traffic light. Green, feeling good, working the muscles, mild discomfort, that's generally okay. Yellow, slight increase, but settles after 24 hours. Proceed, but monitor how your shoulder responds. And red, sharp, catching or pain that spikes and lingers, you need to back off that exercise or the range of motion. Exercise 1 is a lean leaning slider wall axial rotation for mobility and control for rotation without jamming the joint. Stand with your hand on the wall with your elbow extended. You can use a slider for assistance. Lean your weight gently into that arm so your shoulder is supported. From there, rotate your forearm like a windshield wiper, down towards internal rotation and up towards external rotation, keeping the movement small and controlled, staying in a pain-free arc. Complete 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 10 slow rotations. This is training the shoulder how to rotate 180 degrees and isolates the shoulder and shoulder blade mechanics together. If you want the same Big 5 framework we use with thousands of clients, I put the full guide down in the description for you. Next up, we have angels over cones. This is for scap and shoulder control through range without aggressively loading the labrum. For this exercise, grab a few small objects to use as targets as you lift your arms up and over. Place them in 3 different spots like you see here, then lie on your stomach and lift your arms up and over these positions, moving slow and controlled. This is targeting the low and mid traps and the rotator cuff together. Think smooth arc rather than big range. Keeping your ribs down, don't overarch your back. Do not worry so much about how high you can get your arms, but more the quality of the movement. Complete 2 sets of 5 down and back. Exercise 3 is a banded external rotation extension. This is for strength and stability for the posterior cuff and shoulder extension, essential for pressing and pulling with a labrum tear. Grab a band and put your arms behind your back with a band around your wrist. Create tension, pulling the band apart and then moving the shoulders into shoulder extension. This is targeting the back of the rotator cuff. Cues for this: no shrugging, feel this in the back of the shoulders, not your neck. Slow out, slow back, no jerking. Complete 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps of this exercise. And lastly, exercise 4 is shoulder taps for closed chain stability so your shoulder can support your body weight with confidence. Get into a push-up position. If that's too hard, put your hands on a bench or a countertop. Feet a bit wider for more stability. Shift your weight slightly and tap your opposite shoulder with one hand, then switch. Make sure to keep your torso as still as possible, no big hip swings. Start slow, quality beats speed. Complete 2 sets of 8 to 10 taps per side. Your MRI tells you there's a slab tear. It doesn't tell you how much stability and redundancy you can build around it, how your neck, upper back, shoulder blade, and nerves are contributing, and how your shoulder responds over 24 hours when we adjust exercises, load, and intensity. If you can do controlled movements like these, stay within the pain rules, and see gradual improvements in confidence and strength, that's strong evidence your shoulder has more capacity than your MRI made you believe. If your slab tear has you thinking, I'm screwed or I'll never lift or play overhead again, that's not the full story. Tears are real, but so is your ability to adapt and build a stronger support system around that joint. To help with that, I put together a Big 5 training guide that breaks down the exact 5 areas we talked about: your neck, thoracic spine, shoulder blade, shoulder joint, and nerves, plus the tests and exercises to start changing each one. You can download it using the link in the description. And if you want a second opinion style plan, someone to look at their Big 5 areas in the context of your symptoms, your goals, and how you move, and finally fixes shoulder pain, then text me the word pain to 720-710-4371 to get a tailored step-by-step approach on how to permanently fix your shoulder pain. Our mission at Comeback Performance is to help over 1 million people around the world eliminate their shoulder pain, avoid unnecessary imaging, injections, and surgeries, and get their lives back. After you reach out, please like and subscribe to the channel. We're putting out daily content based on your guys' questions on shoulder-related topics regarding pain and rehab. At Comeback Performance, the comeback is always stronger than the setback.